Hello there and welcome back to the Roottrees Are Dead. Now, last time we managed to find information and track down the famous five, or not famous five, the first five siblings basically. The ones that are directly underneath the two family founders. The five pieces, that's what, not the famous five, the five pieces. Now, we tracked those that information down, locked those in. We also managed to lock in, I think, Gwyn's, or most of Gwyn's family tree, like branch, basically. I think there's a couple of little bits that we need left in there. So, we're getting there. We also found out that our mysterious benefactor is an actual root tree themselves, still in shadow. No idea who that actually is, just that they're a root tree. And we need to find, I think it's is it 15 more people to get to the next stage. So we're going to attempt to do some of that, if not hopefully all of it. But 15 is quite a big ask. I might not be able to get it done in an hour and a half. We're going to try and keep it about an hour and a half long. So I think in this one we're going to be having a bit more of a look at the Miracles branch and possibly a little bit more of the Clark's branch, like the core family that set off this whole incident, this whole case. I can probably follow their branch back up a little bit and then head down a little bit as well. We'll see how we'll go. We'll see how we'll go. It might be easy. It might not be easy. We're going to try our level best. Because we're getting into the ones that are a little bit more obscure, and we've used up all of the starred ones, which are the famous ones. So we're going to have to go digging into a little bit further afield. And we're going to probably have some trouble with it because my internet skills are not that great, and trying to think of questions to ask and following leads, not always my best suit. In internet search terms, that is. Anyway, that being said, please grab your favourite drinks and snacks, curl up somewhere comfortable, come hang out with me as we run straight back into the Roottrees Are Dead. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Right, guys, so here we are back in our lovely two-room, I'm assuming two-room apartment. So we need to, I'm going to go back to here. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we've done most of these. We'll still need a little bit of information. We need that baby's name. I don't know if it's male or female. To me, a baby just looks like a baby. I can't really tell a gender of a baby unless it's glaringly obvious. When they're a little bit older, none of that. I know he's a little lad. I know his name Jack, K-12 student, and I know that his profession is baby, which makes us smile. I could have said teddy bear, but I think it's baby. So yeah, we locked in most of these. Still need an extra. Can we do we have another photo of her? I'm not actually sure if we do or not. Alright. So we're going to look into the rest of Miracle's tree, I think, at the minute. And then, as I was saying in the intro, we're going to finish off this branch. And then I might tackle these guys as best I can. Maybe going into this branch as well. Which then would just leave these two branches over here to do. And I might leave that one till last, because that's going to be tricky. I can see that now that one's going to be tricky. So we need to go into Marguerite's spouse name. It's not necessary, but I kind of want it. I kind of want to know that name. And we need to find out as well Roottrees, Miracle Roottrees spouse, Miracle Junior's mother, was also another. It's this one that's the less famous. branch. Because obviously they're all big in like preaching the choir, preaching the choir. I know what I'm talking about. So they're all preachers. So I'm assuming they are different. So we need to go back into evidence. Do we have any other evidence that we need to look at? I don't want that. Right. Nicole, so we need to find out we need to find out the name of their church, probably. I would reckon. So would that be... Can we get any information in... Yeah. Well, dynasty. Step down. Grandfather Elias. That's obviously the head of the family. And the start of the tree. Do we have any other information? Right, so we've got all the information out of that. We've got 3 more bits of information that we can get from this thing. I don't know if it's just this book or if it's... I think it might just be the actual book itself. Like the diary itself. Okay, don't know that. Clancy would have wanted, but he's the one who volunteered. Instead, ended up going to Zach, even though his surname doesn't match to Candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn fireplace. So we filled that in. We haven't. I don't think we've locked that in yet, though. I don't know if we locked that. I can't remember. Did we lock that in? I'm not sure how that's relevant to run a company, but Grandos was particular views when it came to his bloodline. That's again, that was a little bit harsh. Right, Sam. So we need to work out Sam as well at some point, but I don't think we need to do that right now. It's including family gatherings, Gwyneth have been published and includes Sam for quite some time, Lauren writes. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. Do we gain anything? And just some of the next gens, Secret Me and Zakov's go in Paris, but rest of us include Miracle's boys. So it's definitely the other one is boys. So we've got 2 boys in his family. Like the Miracle's 2 sons. Uncle Junior, Patsy. The reception asking pops up. We're looking for information on okay. AC and John, farmhands, Anderson Farm. I wonder if we can get some information on that. Right, but we're not looking at that one. Oh wait, Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. So we're looking for an Eli. Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. I think there was an affair going on, something like an illegitimate child of some variety with Sam. I think Sam's an illegitimate child. Right, so we're looking for Eli, Miracle's youngest. So what Eli's do I have? Back to... yeah. So oldest, youngest. So we're looking for Eli. So we've got 2. Elias M and Elias C. Are we locked in Elias M? Sorry, Elias C. Or is this still up for grabs? Because it says that we've actually filled that in. It says like we've got entered it into information. I mean, Elias Jr. EC Edward Clancy. Oh, Elias C. So that didn't get locked in, but we got that. So can we look up? Elias M. Roottrees? No. No. Let's have a look at Miracle. See if we can find the church. Miracle Network. Okay. So can we type in Miracle Network? Roottrees Jr. became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottrees name, took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Does that mean he wasn't Miracle Roottrees anymore? Not Miracle Roottrees Jr.? Oh, we locked it. It has to be. We locked it in, man. I'm being silly. So can we go Miracle Network? Okay, so that's essentially just the same thing. We'll get the website for the Miracle Network. Okay, can we look at Miracle Roottrees Jr.? Yes. No, that did 2 R's. So we're not getting any other information. So Miracle Roottrees Jr. Okay. Are we barking up the wrong tree here? Complaints. So I'm wondering who don't have her husband, do we? How do we find out her husband's or her dad's name? Because we know obviously that's all locked in. So we'll still need that. We'll still need that. Although they're less important. Do you have any information about... see, this Life Between Wars has had a whole load of information in it. So that was Sam. While Sam had many distant relatives never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Grandad had a brother or two. So that would be that they're talking about the top of the chain there. Anderson Farm. Are we going to get? I don't think we're getting any information about Anderson Farm. Oh, we've got that. Okay, but that one, I didn't realize it was the same farm as hers. The no brothers. So the oldest sister, she was inherent the male farms. Okay, so that's top of the chain. They're not on the list. That's all the information we've got. Do we have no notifications? Okay. Alright, so we're back into here. So Elias. So it's Elias, Miracle's youngest. So that will be there. Not my brother. So how do we work out her brother? Which one's correct? Because we've got Elias M. And then we've got Elias C. That's James Roottrees' dad. So can we go... See, I'm taking a side tangent here. It's every 3, isn't it? So if we can find information... Oh, get these two, maybe get that locked in. Can we get Elias C's this information locked in? I'm trying to remember the information that made us think that was Elias C. So I'm wondering who he is. Unless that's... Wait, is that Sam? Is that Sam? Let us take a picture of him. So I'll probably need to take that off. Yeah. So I wonder where Sam comes into the list. Right. I'm thinking if I can lock in these two, then we're going to be happy. How do I find information? All right. So I'm getting nowhere right now with this and this. So I'm going to go looking for information on something. We're going to go on a bit of an information hunt in the evidence here, because there's some stuff but never looked at that. We got given that by our mysterious benefactor, as well as I think this as well, I think. So I'm going to look up this, because we have Stephanie Jones, Butler County. We have 2 pictures. We got this quite early on. So if we can look up Stephanie, because she's in the public eye because she's got city council, so she's like in politics. So let's have a look up at her. So it's Stephanie Jones with an IE. We're just going to take it where it leads us. Stephanie Jones. Right. You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for City Council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. Found no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. So she's connected to the Roottrees in some way. Stephanie also has a very bare bones website for her campaign, simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. Okay. So that's a connection there. Butler County Times. And we've got a periodical. Okay. Butler County is located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. While the Roottrees Candy Company now has its headquarters in the city, the company began on a small farm within the Butler County limits. And the area has a lot of history with the family. Okay. So the Butler County Times is presumably a local paper there. There are likely articles from over the years, including the Roottrees family and those adjacent to them, being automatically added to your periodical search interface. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, and it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County, or even had any connection to Butler County. That's a little bit of an Easter egg. That's kind of funny. Right, so let's go periodical. Butler County Times. Let's look up Stephanie for this article. What was the surname? I totally know what I'm doing. Jones. Right. I can't believe I forgot her surname there. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon. Let's just copy that. Until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an okay, so are we having same-sex relationship as her parents? Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policy regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. Okay, so we've got two Carolyn. What's her say? That would be Carolyn Landon, probably. Caroline Landon is another one. So let's do Caroline Landon. Nothing. Nothing regarding that. Okay. So can we copy? Wait, how do we copied something? How do we paste it? Stephanie Landon. Nothing. Yeah, well, not Stephanie Jones. Distant cousin of the Roottrees. See, that's the thing. Her mother, Caroline. I should wonder who her. How we're going to get her surname, because her surname wouldn't be Landon. So how do we get? I think so. Carolyn's been on front page of the Butler County Times. So how are we going to find that information? Also, where I don't know where she fits in. I don't know where Stephanie Landon fits in until the distant cousin. Would that be... That be down here, or would be down here? I don't know where she fits in, to be fair. We might be barking up the wrong tree. I don't know where she fits. I don't know whose chain she's on. Distant cousin. So she's after a baby. She's got a baby. Single child. No, like a single. As far as I know, a single baby. So either it could be that, it could be that. It's definitely down the bottom of the chain. I don't think it's going to be that. Because whoever those are split up, they had a child. And that person became a stepfather. Or step parent. So Carolyn. Can we go Carolyn Roottrees? Nothing. Right. Nothing related on there. So can we have a look at... Oh wait, hold on. This could be it. Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but we could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie. She could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let conflict spread to the next generation. CM. Carolyn M. Hold on. What names do we have? Morden. Okay, so it is Carolyn Morden. All right. Carolyn M. It just sprung to me as Morden because we've got Mordens in the list somewhere, and in the thing. Where are the Mordens? Zachariah Morden. Okay, so this is the chain. So this is obviously this is the chain of the Mordens. Okay. So what generation, like distant cousin, would that be one of these or one of these? Although only child, there's no only child. Right, so let's look up Carolyn Morden. So we're looking at, we've suddenly found ourselves in this one. Right. Carolyn Morden. Caroline is listed on a few art websites without much detail. She seems to be associated with a movement called PFLAG. So let's type that in. P flag. An organisation founded in the 70s, acronym stands for Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Okay. So where does that lead? She's adjacent to Carl. She's Carl's generation. So she's going to be... Caroline Morden is going to be in here. Although... Would it be? Have I got him in the wrong spot? I think I might have him in the wrong spot. Because if he's here, that would make more sense. Because he would have had basically 2 children. Got married, had 2 children. Then that would be Caroline Morden. Married someone, had basically split up, but they had a child. And then Caroline Morden's new partner would have adopted Stephanie, and she would have married someone. Obviously she married things, so that's the end of the chain. But they're expecting a child, but they haven't had a child yet. Alright, I think I've got him in the wrong spot. Let's move him across as a Zachariah Morden, and he was 2nd president. And that guy. So I think he's in the right spot now, and that makes so much more sense, because Stephanie's an only child. So can I put that in Stephanie? Stephanie Landon. And politician. Politics. And she married Jones. Unconventional family. Yeah, unconventional family. That's so we're on the right spot now. So it told me who she married, wasn't it? Brian Jones. Okay, so we can fill in Brian Jones. Brian Jones. Expecting a child, but is thinking, and then him. That's that guy. She is that lady. We've locked some people in. Okay. Okay, so I did have him in the wrong spot. Stephanie Landon. They've also locked in a few other people, two spouses. Nice, okay. So at least we're on the right tree here, so we can fill in... I can't believe I had him in the wrong spot. Although we didn't know any other information about him, really, did we? So Stephanie Landon, so her mother is Caroline Morden. Obviously direct from him. She's an artist. I don't know where we're going to get a picture of her though. We need to find more information about Carolyn. And again, who she married twice. And then we can fill this, we can complete this chain, and then I might see if I can go for Zachariah for this side. They had 3 children. Okay, so we need to track down Carolyn Morden. You know what? I've just realised I typed in Landon, didn't I? Carolyn Landon. And it's not, it wasn't Landon, it's Morden. I was an idiot. Right. Carolyn Morden. You find a cover story about a local art installation, including one by Carolyn Morden. There isn't much about Carolyn as a person. This is mostly a list of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. According to the story, there's an image of Carolyn standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It's captured Carolyn standing next to a sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in an upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and Beauty of Women. Okay, we're looking at that for sure. So let's just highlight that. And let's just search. Not periodicals. Highlight. So we can have a look at that. Right, shut that down. Atlantis Burden. Right. According to the quote further down, Atlantis Burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Okay, so we have a picture of... there she is. Nice. I like the sunglasses. Rainbow sunglasses, I like it. There's nothing else in there. Okay, so just a clipping. And this is all information that were read on the web page. Okay. Nice sculpture though, actually. An actual nice sculpture. So let's go back into here so we can go Carolyn Morden, and we've got, that's her right there. She was an artist. So let's go, if we look in here, public library. Carolyn Morden, and that was notes. My note, please. I really like that. Type that correctly. Self-portrait, art and the beauty. The beauty of women. Nice. I like the fact that I can actually still type in the screen on the right hand side while the notes are up. I like that. So we can shut that down. Published 1987, softcover, large. Art, photography, sculpture. Dedicated to Eloy and Stephanie. Eloy and Stephanie. Morden. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. Centerpiece is a series of full-colour nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. Certainly have not been added to your evidence. I was wondering that. In the intro, Caroline talks about influence. She was one of the youngest in her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. So Gwendolyn's a sister. Gwendolyn Moore. Wait, Gwendolyn Moore. Sister, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn Morton. Gave up. Okay, so she obviously had 3 kids. Wait, we're in the wrong one. Right. Sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie. I don't know if Bonnie's. I don't know if I'd see if I just put a note saying Bonnie in the thing. I'm probably not going to remember what that is. She was just like the brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson. He's actually not. Okay, he's okay. That actually would Dr. Wilson. The marriages led her to double down on her passions, art, and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. Okay, Mark. So what marks do we have? Okay, we're actually getting some more information here, so I'm trying to work out what we're going to do to think of this. Can we go? Okay, so it's still in there. All right. So let's go through this. So Gwendolyn, cousin Bonnie. So her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson. So Dr. Wilson would be. So if I type in Wilson. So we have Jason, Stephen, and Zach. And Jem. So I'm going to assume Gwendolyn married someone called Wilson. Dr. Wilson. And they had 3 kids. I'm assuming Jem might be one of them. I'm just going to guess on these. So we have Jason, Stephen, and Zach. So one of them must be the dad. Stephen just sounds like an adult name. That sounds really stupid. I know. I know what I meant when I said it. Like, I can't imagine Jason or Zach being married to a Gwendolyn. I don't know. Dr. Zach Wilson or Dr. Jason Wilson. Doesn't sound. Dr. Stephen Wilson sounds like a doctor's name. So let's fill in the Wilsons. I'm going to say Jason and... Oop. Never mind, I hit the wrong button. Try that one again. I also can't imagine that like Gwendolyn would marry someone with the same name as a dad. I don't know, that's very strange. It's very strange to me. Right, so tentatively got those in. Probably in the wrong order, I would imagine. However, she married guy called Mark. So Mark Landon. Is there a Mark Landon? There is. Mark Landon. So they were together. They had a baby, Stephanie Landon, and then she went with another thing on. So let's go. The other name that was in here, dedicated to Eloy and Stephanie. So Stephanie's daughter, Eloy must be second partner. Now we're literally just going to fill in how many Eloys do I have. We'll just have an Eloys. Okay. So I think that's probably correct. That's got that locked in there. So she married, or she didn't marry, she was in a relationship with Mark Landon. They had Stephanie Landon. They split up. She then had a partner, Eloy, with obviously Eloy adopted Stephanie, and then Stephanie thingy Jones. Okay, so that's that one. Sister Gwendolyn. Is there any information about Gwendolyn Morden? Nothing. So, hold on. Can we look up, what was his name? Dr. Wilson. That's going to pull up nothing. Oh. Never mind. I was expecting Dr. Wilson to not pull up anything, because the amount of Dr. Wilsons just on the internet, would be crazy. Even in 1990, even in the 90s. Right, Dr. Stephen Wilson is a pediatrician who practices north of Pittsburgh. Although there's a lot of Stephen Wilsons and Dr. Wilsons, this one apparently found a way to game the search results, as he pops up to the top every time. Okay, so that's why. His website claims that he is a pediatrician to the stars, and the only evidence for this apparently was a doctor to the Roottrees sisters. Okay. There's a picture of him on his website, as well as a picture of his 3 children. Nice. 3 of them look as though the photographer was holding them hostage. Regardless, the photos have been added to your evidence. There's also a quote that, although credited to his child Jason, you suspect might not be written by a 10-year-old. My dad's the best dad in the entire world, and he treats every patient with world-class care. You'll treat your children like you would me, my big brother, or my sister. Okay, so that's actually got good information here. Let's go back into here. Let's have a look at what we've just picked up. That's good old doctor. Stephen Wilson, self-proclaimed pediatrician to the stars. He found the photo on his website. Also, I'm not going to point out the fact so youngest big brother or my sister. So it's depending who these are, which one of these is first. Oldest, because they'll see he's youngest, so he'd be on the right. Also, I'm not even going to eat crow about the fact that I guessed that name right, Stephen Wilson. It sounds like a doctor's name. That's the crazy part, right? So Stephen Wilson, Gwendolyn Morden. We don't actually have a picture of Gwendolyn. Or we don't know her housewife. I'm going to guess housewife. So this is... Hold on. Youngest kid. Jason. Okay, so Jason is... This is Jason. Wilson. So we have Zach. And we have... Jem. So Jason is the youngest. So he would be... I'm going to say a student. I'm going to say those are possibly college, because I'm gonna guess college, because I need to put something in until we find something different. If we get these pictures, if we get these right, actually, then that'll lock these in. Oh, we've got two. We've got two of them. Nice. Okay. Got a whole bunch of other people. So that has to be Jem. I don't know if she's a student at college though. So now we need a photo of Gwendolyn Morton. Also, she mentions... Okay, so we need Zachariah's wife. And we need a photo of Gwendolyn. Now we've got a photo of that generation. Do we have a photo? I don't think we've got any photos of this generation. There's like no family photo of this generation. Gwendolyn Roottrees. Okay. So he has a brother. So I would like to find Gwendolyn Morton. How do I find Gwendolyn Morton? Okay. Can I? Wait, did I spell that right? One was in the 70s, Carl's the teenager in the middle. So that's Carl. Okay, so this is Carl's generation, which would put that on this level. Okay. So this is the 70s. These are the 80s, I would imagine. Roughly. So she has to be in here somewhere. Bonnie. Okay. We've heard Bonnie before. Gwyneth Morden. Gwendolyn. Jim Roottree. That's got to be Jim Roottree. Eli M. Okay, so we've got photos of these people. Next president, Guy Hudson. Okay, can we look at... So we're getting distracted. Okay, Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year in 1979. It's Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as president of Roottrees. In an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted, Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap into the idea that if they added fancy flavours to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. Strange, but okay. This philosophy led to a flavour in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. Ew. Fish egg flavoured maple treat. No. 5 pieces sold less that year than it had in any other year except in some foreign markets. Very quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavour and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Okay, so he's a president, Guy Hudson. In 1979, so he'd be the president in that age. So I don't know who's who in here. That looks like Jim. We've got a Bonnie. I don't know who that kid is. Is that Bonnie? Miracle Jr. Or Eli. See that right there? Can I zoom in? Yeah, I can. Eli right there. So that's Eli. Is that Eli M or Eli? I have an Eli up here, didn't we? Eli. So if that's Eli M. It has to be, because obviously that's the same generation. We don't have another one. So can we put that looks like him, doesn't it? Same looking guy. Put that in. It may lock in, it may not. Right, so we need Elias M. So can we have a look at this? Can we guess a thing? Can we guess a job that he would need to wear a blue, what looks like a blue overall with a name badge? Mechanic? Hold on. Wait. It mentioned something. So Miracle Jr. is definitely in there. So I don't know who the rest of these people are. Carl, which is there. Jim Roottree, him. Miracle Jr. We've got Gwendolyn. Doesn't mention which one Gwendolyn is. Gwyneth M. Gwyneth Morden. Gwyneth Morden, nothing in there, right? So Gwyneth Morden. Would that be there? Would that be that one? Although we're on a different generation there. Unless that's not... Miracle Junior's in there. Okay. Never mind. It has to be that one. Because I'm getting confused with the generations here. Because that and him were in the same photo. Although... we'll knock that one in. I don't know whether just because that's on the same level as that is throwing us off. I'm going to say Mechanic Elias. The mention of where is it? I've lost it. I'm in the wrong spot. Where are we? That one. And Sam. Oh, wrong thing. 63. From previous, you learn Elias Roottrees given in to his wife announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in found gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Miracle's boys spent Sam and Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. At the reception, when asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy saw some Sam working alongside the farmhands EC and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are in the books. That's what I was looking for. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. So would have made Eli, not would have made him a mechanic, but I'm guessing riding his bike, maybe he did become a mechanic. Alright. I'm going to guess mechanic. That's the only thing I can think of. Name, badge, and thingy one. And someone taught him to, Sam, whoever Sam is, taught him to do his bike. Or was it am I misreading that? So Sam's on the same. So is he older or same age? Okay, Sam's going to be confusing. We did take those yeah, did take those pictures. Ernie. Okay. Right. I'm getting distracted. I need to find photos. I think that might be correct. I'm going to find out when we get photos of Gwendolyn. I'm assuming Jem is going to be in there as well. But he's definitely thinking, I don't know her occupation. Gwendolyn Morden. Where's that picture? That one. Gwyneth M. Gwyneth Morden. Gwendolyn. It just says Gwendolyn. So we have a Bonnie, we have a Gwendolyn, Carolyn, would that be Carolyn? That kind of looks the same. That looks like the same person. So her sister. So we have a toss-up between her and her. Although I would say she looks more like her than she does. So I'm going to say that's probably Gwendolyn. I'm going to guess that they look a little bit more similar. I might be entirely wrong on that. Also, I don't know her profession. I'm just put housewife for the sake of putting housewife. So I don't know how we're going to find information on that. All right. So I can't think of any other information. I'm guessing at that. We won't know until we get a third person. So I think we've got him semi-locked in. We've got her semi-locked in. I may be incorrect on that. However, if we find a third person, we can confirm. Because if we unlock get a third person right, then it will lock in. It'll either lock in those two or nothing. If nothing happens, then we know that we've got one of these wrong. Yeah. Brain aid moment. So we still have more information in this. Where is it? This book. 3 more bits of information we can glean from it. So I'm wondering, can we get more info about her, like this part of her family, this chain? So I'm wondering, can we have a look at that? Danielle Franks is there. We need a picture of Clark Rafferty. Because we mentioned that in the... Clark arrested a generous free spirit. What else can you do? Call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person could spend. Assuming my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. So Jacob is her husband, wasn't it? We locked him in? Yeah, Jacob Rafferty. And we know that Clark took his surname. Yeah, so that's covered. I think we'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name, so it's Rafferty. So, can we look up Swashbuckle My Heart? Nothing. So can we go... Swashbuckle My Heart. Would help if I spelled that correctly. Lauren Rafferty. Oh, okay. Published 1963, out of print. No copies available. Re-release as X marks the spot. If I go... X marks the spot. Nothing relevant. Could the author be published under a different name than the one you search for? Roottrees? It'd be really straight. I don't know why they would do that. Unless it's to get better sales. Because she is a Roottrees. Okay. Published 1974, softcover fiction romance. According to the back of the book, this is a buried treasure by Lauren Roottrees, from the author of the Court series. It also says to keep an eye out for Lauren Roottrees' next book, Revisiting the Diary 10 years later. Oh, I'm sure that's going to have a wealth of information in. Nice. So, Lauren Roottrees Revisiting the Diary. Revisiting the Diary. "10 years later." Scandal. Oh. So I just saw that. Diary. Oh, we've got more. Diary names. Diary anger. So we've got 5 more bits of evidence. Softcover first print non-fiction. This is a version of Lauren Roottrees' diary released in 1975. Unlike the original diary, it contains no pictures but has many new passages that reflect on her thoughts 10 years later. One major event happened between releases that changed Lauren's outlook on certain subjects. The death of Elias, a summary of the fallout has been added to your notes, as well as some other select pages. Well, we'll definitely have a look at that. Right. 3. I thought that said 13 for a second there. So let's have a look at that one. Different, well, same photo. Original author Lauren Roottrees. So we'll get 1 more from here. And 5 pages. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottrees had died, and during the reading of his will there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud. Samantha Roottrees. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retained the right to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. Elias Roottrees. Okay. Right. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottree had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud: Samantha Roottrees. So Elias got to be top of the chain. So names read aloud: Samantha Roottrees. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retained the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. It was then that the scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently Sam was an illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Okay, can we fill this in now? So let's go. Is that them? It has to be. Those has to be the thing. Okay, we need to make a note of that. Illegitimate. So basically 2 names. So be illegitimate child Sam Roottree. Okay, that's why we couldn't find her. Alright. That's why. So we've got them locked in anyway. Patricia, the daughter of the local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr. and they finally married in their 50s. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. She did, actually. That's where I got Patsy from. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated this. When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place. Even though she was not part of the Clancy Trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry titled Sam. Okay, next page. So, this is a page of additional notes and context from 1975 10-year anniversary re-release of Lauren's diary. It's a companion piece to the entry about Sam. Clearly I did not know of true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It has been a long time since any real Roottree was excited and interested in actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth is the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. Okay, she doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. So, wait, do we have a... Okay, so is that this part of the family? And then Sam... Would Sam be in here? And this would be part of the other information. How to explain, I'm going to finish reading this. It looks hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations will pass to Samantha Roottree for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money after all and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I don't think that's going to be any... I don't think that's going to help us at all. It might do. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. So she doesn't like the higher ups. Okay. Companion piece to the entry about her son Clark. Okay. But this is the one I'm going to be looking for. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrie has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwyn divorced Wild Bill just before she had a second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet. But neither of us ever took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of real father. Did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C stepped up and helped, more than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Whenever he could, Eli's marriage seemed fine and Jim's marriage seemed solid as a rock, pun intended. Diamond. Sorry. I just realised I've made that reference. So who knows what causes these things. Suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio. Still, I don't think marriage on such a shaky foundation like that can last. Lord knows I was right last time. Okay, so Jane running out on the band. We've got another 2 pages and that's one pub, however we're going to look at. So they split up. So Jane LaRue. So that's that generation. Diamond LaRue, I'm assuming in relation to Diamond LaRue. Running out on the band. So can we look up Jane periodical Starlet? Jane LaRue. Wait, is it LaRue? Okay, so not Jane. Okay, so there's nothing about her in Starlet. Jane. Okay, so we've got some information. Jane Delavicchio is listed on a talent for hire site as a wedding singer. Way down in the credentials section of her biography, it mentions she got her start as a young girl when she was Jane LaRue of the Lucky LaRues. Lucky LaRues. It also mentions to only contact her agent in the event that you actually wish to hire her, and that any and all inquiries about her past or her sister would be ignored. Okay, the Lucky LaRues. So let's have a look at that spider search. Same information. So if I go Lucky LaRue Starlet, maybe. Search periodicals Starlet. Will we get any information about that? Nothing relevant. Team Blast, maybe. Nothing relevant. Not going to be silver screen. Alright. So we've got no more information about their kids. Do we have a picture? Do we pick up a picture of no. Skips. I'm wondering. No photos in this one, is there? No. Okay, so let's go back on here. Let's just do the next page. Names. This is a diary page. Okay, so that's going to be saving all of them from the looks of it. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary is how many similar names there are. And I get it, there are 4 Eli's for Pete's sake, but that's how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town. I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's where they become Uncle Junior or Miracle's Eli or Eli C. Our family's names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honour those in their last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father, his father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. So now you see where my pop's name came from. So Edward Clancy was a dad. He's filled in, isn't it? Yes, okay. So that's in more confirmation. One thing that's always been consistent in our family though is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. With the women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Carolyn, who was Elias's mother. Gwendolyn, Elias's mother. That we filled that in as well, didn't we? Okay, hold on. Well, have I misread that? I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline, who was Elias's mother? Question mark. So do we have a Caroline already marked in here? Elias's mother. Which Elias are we talking about here? Got Elias Jr. Obviously, his mother was Gwyneth Anderson. Clancy, Elias C. Obviously, mother is Sarah Cossell. But only other Elias would be okay, so we're talking Carolyn. Oh, the Elias she must be talking about must be a granddad. Gwendolyn is Gwyneth. All right, I was barking up the wrong tree there. Right, women's intent and girl mixed up as generations went on. I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of junior. I was wondering that as well. So if you're reading my diary and confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Rootree. I had to break the news that they got my father's name backwards. I don't know if that might have some information that we need. Not companion pieces in specific entry, but rather a fun bonus. Apparently, it's the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes, based on the teacher's name, she must have been in the 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out, but here she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, your Pop is my dad. Then she said, your Pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing, so I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away, told me, don't worry, I'm glad she's gone. Okay, does that give me actually any information? So we're talking about her, Lauren. Your Pop is my dad. So would that fall into that? All right. So that gave us a whole load of other information, but I don't think any of it's not exactly relevant right now, but I don't think it's going to help us find some stuff with Sam. Sam's illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Okay, so they're illegitimate daughter, so obviously that's got to be Sam in there. It does mention 2 names. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. There's 2 names that must be typed in manually. Clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past. May even require some leaps of logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. So I don't know whether that's... because we kind of stumbled across that quite straightforward. But that screams to be illegitimate child. But it's connected to this. Which I find strange. Patricia, daughter looks through Hobbs' secret romance, became pregnant after the birth. Her father refused to let her see her journey. So Samantha was sent to Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. So Sam, we need to probably eventually work out EC to get Sam's surname. Unless we're alright. She was married off to her old mother. Read that already. None of the next gens ever heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared. Okay, so that doesn't give me much information. So anything a little bit more about Sam. Clear to know a true family history when I wrote this. Didn't even know Sam was Roottrie. Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie had the kids. I look at her and her children seem eager to. Ernie Jr. So would that be Ernie Jr.? Okay. I need to focus. I need to focus. So I want to lock another person in. Because I need to know if that's correct. But also need to know if she's correct. If I get one more off him. Although, hold on. If she's a named root tree, one of these has to be wrong. Again, I think they look a bit too close together to be. They're like thing and sister. That's her job's wrong. Retail. Travel agent. See, I don't know. I could have her name wrong. Her job wrong. The picture might be correct. Also could have her Jem Wilson's wrong as well. Can we have a look at that picture? Is there any information about thing? (1996). So she could be something entirely different. She could be just not I'm assuming not a student. There's no indication that she's a student. I'm just guessing. Can we go retail? Maybe. Right. So we have 3 people's information in. Alright. So I'm at a bit of a loss for down here. I think that information's going to come in handy. Sam's information's probably to do with this right here. Sam's probably in there, and maybe that's Sam and a daughter. I don't know. I don't quite know. I'm at a little bit of a loss. We'll have these 2, I think, locked in, and we'll have Elias M. I'm going to assume mechanic. I might be entirely wrong on that. However, they're not triggering, so I might be entirely wrong on one of these or all of them. They might be all wrong. So my other thought, because I want to get 3 people done. I want to get another set done. So Jane LaRue, Diamond LaRue, obviously, and James. I kind of want to look at this connection because obviously he married her sister. He had another wife as well, and they had a child. Obviously they split up after. Oh, I don't quite know what that split up is, but is that a child between those 2? So if we go back here, because there was another name in here, wasn't there? Peter Janovitz. Can we look up that? See, we need to remember to look up all the names. Did I correct that? Did I spell that correctly? W-I-C-Z. Jano W-I-C-Z. If I typed in, I give myself credit. Right. Peter Jones seemed to be a music critic. You find him mentioned on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. He used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. So let's look up. Smart search that. Alright. An abbreviation for Modern Music Monthly magazine from the 40s to the early 80s went out of business due to high competition from much more major publications. So we looked at that. So if we go in here, pardon me, and look up okay, so a review and interview from 1979 titled "A Reluctant Hitmaker, Jim Goes Into His First Band." Till a few years ago, Dam and I were in C&J plus J&D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had sort of a cutesy family brand thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with a younger sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Alright, so that's a bit of a scandal right there. Diamond on the younger sister, everything exploded. No more family band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told rolling is like that, but it wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. That's your first problem right there. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Rafa Tunes, and he's much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. So was Clark advertiser? Okay. Advertising. And mentioned his dad as well, didn't it? Advertising. So my query is, do we have a picture of Elias C? I mean, we could just... I don't know why that zoomed out there. I mean, we've no idea who Elias... which one Elias is. I'm assuming he's going to come into play with... he's going to be one of the farmhands. Let's get rid of that. So we can go Rafferty Clark. Can we get it? Do we have a photo? Do we actually have a photo of Clark? Clark. So he's in this picture. So we have his photo. So which one could he be? I mean, we've got that guy. We've got that. We've only got 3 guys left in this photo that we haven't thingy there. That guy. That guy. Well, one of these is probably right. I just haven't found the other ones. Alright. So let's follow this chain a little bit more. Because we picked up another thing to look up, didn't we? Raffatoons? Raffatoons, wasn't it? Oh, okay. What's that about Raffatoons? Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. Oh, so you hyphenated. On it there is a about page and you find a picture labeled the inspiration of the famous Super Bowl and ad campaign. Below that is more detail. Clark was in the department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children. When his wife was trying to get his youngest Katrina to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. Photos now any evidence. Okay. So let's go have a look at that. So we have a picture. Where are we? Not what I expect them to look at. His youngest, so that's got to be Katrina. So, you found this photo of the Raffatoons website. It was labelled the inspiration for the famous ad campaign. Clark was in department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children while his wife was trying to get Katrina, his youngest, to calm down for the picture. He had an idea for a Roottrees Super Bowl ad. So we've got pictures here. So now we can fill in Clark Rafferty advertising. And that has to be Danielle. Wait, is it? Hold on. No, wrong one. Because he didn't have any kids until further down the chain. Okay. So... these. So that is most recent. Is that a bit? Was that? Oh, it is. Obviously, is that her? No. So that is the oldest. And that's the youngest. No, wrong one. Oldest. Youngest. And it mentioned a name, didn't it? Katrina. Katrina Rafferty LaRue. So Jane. Hold on. Is he a naughty boy? Hold on. Where? Right. James and Diamond, Clark and Jay. My cousin and his ex. So Jay was Jane. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters, so the fathers had sort of kicked in. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with the youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. So her, okay, so the third there's a third one. So if I type in, hold on, can we work it out just by process of elimination? I'm going to say Kim, because Rafferty LaRue, that must be her name. Because we've got Katrina, which is the youngest, Rafferty LaRue, which means it's surname, obviously, for this one. So that has to be Kim. This has to be Jessica. I'm assuming they're both going to be, because neither of them are a baby, none of them are in college. So I'm going to assume in student K-12. Nice. All right. These three entries are correct, have been locked in. Rafferty, Jessica, Gwendolyn, Morden. Nice. So did we get... Which ones did we get right? It's a little bit annoying that I couldn't get her in one go. So she's going to be K-12 to K-12 as well. That is a little bit annoying, that the fact that I filled that in, that became correct, which means she has to wait till the next round, which is a little bit annoying. Also, they had another family. So we've got 6 more people to find before we get our next checkpoint. Who else did we lock in there? Didn't lock him in. I was correct on that as well. Housewife, nice. Okay. I still don't know their mother. Also, I don't know Jem Wilson. I'm assuming is incorrect as well. Probably. I don't quite know how to work out her thing. We're probably going to do that next time though. So we're not doing too badly. We filled in most of Gwendolyn's, most of Zachariah Morden's tree. A couple of little bits here and there. We'll still need to do Gwendolyn's second thingy one. Gosh, couldn't we? Would he be Morden? I mean, I'm going to fill Angelica Morden in right there. I'm assuming that's going to be that. Because she's the only other Morden that hasn't been locked in. Process of elimination. I'm going to put it. So I need to work out her, Angela Morden. Do this chain. So we've got 1, 2, Elias Jr.'s chain, which I think is going to be possibly left till last. I'm not entirely sure. So a little bit more of Clark's chain to do. Or I should say Lauren's train. And then we'll have this and this. We're not doing too bad. 33 out of 50. Or is there actually 50 people left to fill in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 more. Unless there's 50 people total. Okay. Right. Anyway, let's go back to the house, because why not? I'm going to go Big Me real quick, and we're going to have a quick chat. Very quick, very quick one. So we've made some good progress and haven't got any more major evidence. We've got some evidence to fill in because we've still got that second novel that we can have a look at, the second diary. That's going to give us some more information. That's probably going to lead us to Elias Jr.'s tree. It's probably going to lead us to that. We'll probably be able to fill that in at some point next time. That seems like a plan. Sounds like a plan to me. I might delve a little bit deeper into that, or might try and pick up on some of the stragglers of the trees that we'll have left to do. Like if I get gems and I get the other one, Elias, I've forgotten his name. I'm thinking if I get Elias M, obviously I know that's correct. So if I get Elias M and then I get Jem Wilson, then that'll probably lock us an extra 3 people. And then we can focus, that'll clean up 2 chains. Then that leaves us 2 more to go. Well, technically, 3 left to do, not 2. Anyway, so I'm still finding this intriguing. It is getting quite tricky to find information on people, and it's just a matter of processing everything that we've got, trying to follow every name we can, which I keep on forgetting to do. Doing the whole Jankowitz thing on that sheet, on that logo Music Monthly magazine. That's like, I keep on forgetting I need to be a bit more thorough when I'm looking for things, because I keep on going on tangents. I'll be looking for someone and then I get another clue and I'll start looking at that and I'll lose sight of what I was actually going for. It happens to us all the time. It probably happens to you as well. At least I hope so, and that I'm not going crazy. So we're going to obviously leave that here for this week. So please, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please let me know in the comment section below. If you're new here, feel free to come hang out, come check out some other stuff that we'll have going on. We would love to have you here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you again for all support. It is much appreciated. If you want to go above and beyond on the sport, you can opt into the membership stuff. I think it's down there. Should be down there. If you grab a tier 1, you get your name up on the wall. If you grab a tier 2, you get your name up on the wall, and you get early access to the video pretty much back to a week in advance, because I did some hard work this week to catch up, because I lost that week, but we've gained it back. Through a lot of hard work and 2 very long days. Anyway, please remember as well to be a light in the dark for someone, because you never know when a single act or word of kindness can change someone's day or life for the better, or in ways that you may never understand or never even know about. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and you all know what's coming. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And as always, see you on the flip side. Bye bye.